Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock on a Tuesday, which means it's time for a Magic News. Now, this is rapidly becoming one of the most popular videos on the channel of the week. The idea is that I basically wrap up everything that's happened in the last week. Now, if you've got any magic news that you'd like me to talk about, or anything that you'd like me to talk about that's happening in the magic community, then simply just leave it down below in a comment and I will happily get on with it. Having said that, there's quite a lot going on in the magic community this week. So without further ado, let's get straight into this week's magic news. Okay, so magic news this week. The first item that we're going to talk about is the great Murphy's Magic Sponge Ding Dong debate. Now, if you don't know, Murphy's Magic have just released a absolute metric ton of sponge items. Like, I think they're trying to take over the sponge ball market. Now, Goshman, who traditionally did release a lot of sponge ball stuff, have been slowing down over the recent years, and it's actually been kind of a bit of a shortage. It's been more difficult than ever before to get sponge balls. A lot of different colours are out, and a lot of different sponge balls you can't get hold of anymore, especially the really good quality sponge balls. So Murphy's have released their own line of sponge balls, and they have literally brought out everything. So they've got colour changing sponge balls, multiplying balls, they've got sponge rabbits, they've got ball to cube, they've got more colours than you can shake a stick at. They've got so many different sponge items that have just been dropped to every magic shop around the world at the same time. Now, this is a good thing because honestly, I've been really struggling to get sponge balls. I'm currently teaching my daughter Thea how to do magic, and one of the first things that I wanted to teach her was teach her how to do sponge balls, and I wanted to get her own set of sponge balls. I couldn't really find any other colour other than yellow. Luckily, yellow's her favourite colour and it's not a problem, but there has been a sponge ball shortage. So it's great that Murphy's have actually come through with a bunch of sponge balls. I'm not too sure about the quality. I haven't checked it or seen it yet, but I will be getting some of their sponge items soon, and maybe we'll do a video on it at some point in the future. However, this has brought up a huge debate within the magic industry, within the magic community, and that is whether or not in 2025 Murphy's Magic should be bringing out Mr. Dong. Now, what is Mr. Dong? Well, Mr. Dong is Murphy's Magic's version of the Sponge Ding Dong. What is the Sponge Ding Dong? You know, Sponge Ding Dong is a trick that's been around for years and years and years. It's basically a cock and balls made up out of sponge. It's a sponge cock, basically. And this has been a trick that a lot of magicians have used. You put your sponge cock in your pocket, you do your sponge ball routine, at the end you go to put the balls away and you go, actually, let me give these balls back to you, and you switch them, and when you hold the sponge ding dong in a particular way, and you give it to the spectator, it looks like you're just giving them 4 balls. And typically the presentations I've seen in the past is, hey, think about something you really like, open up your hand, oh my god, it's a sponge cock, and that's the end of the trick. Now, Murphys have brought out their own version of this called Mr. Dong, and again, I haven't checked the quality, but it looks like a perfectly good sponge ding dong, as cock and balls go, made out of sponge. This looks like a good one. But the debate is, should this be a product that's been offered in 2025? And you've got two sides of the debate. On one side, you have people saying this is everything that's wrong in magic, like this is the worst thing that you could possibly have. This is why people hate magic. You know, anybody who performs this at a gig should be shot and killed immediately, you know, that sort of stuff. And then you've got people on the other side going, no, it's great, it's funny, it's a laugh, it's a joke. And it's very difficult for these people to meet in the middle. So what's my opinion on it? Well, my opinion is I haven't ever really done the sponge ding dong. It's not my sort of thing. It's not the sort of thing that I would do. It doesn't fit with my character. That's not to say I wouldn't do it. I've done hen parties in the past where this sort of thing would be absolutely perfect. If you've ever worked at close-up magic at a hen party, it's the sort of gig where you have to be really have your wits about you, and there are going to be a lot of lewd jokes, and it's not by you, it's normally by the hen. You know, hen parties, that sort of thing. This is the sort of thing that would work perfectly well And it's not like this hasn't been done before. There's been lots of different tricks that have come out through the years that have this sort of feel to it. Dave Bonsall from Prop Dog, who was one of the biggest workers at the time, before he went into retail, he was a huge corporate magician. But Dave Bonsall has brought out many different things. I remember him bringing out a little thing that you hold and it's a nun and you kiss the nun. But when somebody takes a picture of you kissing a nun, it looks like you're kissing a cock. That sort of thing. And I know that's been a very popular item for Prop Dog. And I know magicians from all over the all over the world have bought it. I remember Saturn Magic bought out, Mark Infinity bought out various different cock-related prosthetic devices that you can pull out your pocket, and everybody went mad for them, and they were all performing them around the Ruskin at Blackpool. I remember a couple of years ago he bought out a signed card to cock, where you have a card picked, you have the card signed, and then you flop your cock out and it's in the cock, that sort of thing. It's not my sort of thing. I wouldn't go and do that at a gig, but you know what? I'd have no problem doing it at particular gigs. If there was a particular gig where I knew I was going to get an audience like that, would I do it? Absolutely, I'd have no problem with it. Would I do it at a kid's party? Would I do it at a wedding? Would I do it at a corporate event, a black tie corporate event? Obviously not. But the thing is, and what you need to remember, all of the people that are saying, hey, this is career suicide if you do this, very few people are actually professional magicians. A lot of people that get into magic, they just want something fun to show their mates down the pub. They enjoy learning magic and they enjoy performing it for their friends. I could see a lot of people buying this and having a laugh with it and doing it down the mates down the pub and, hey, hold on to this, Barry, open up your hand. Oh, you've got a cock. Oh, Barry's got a cock. That sort of thing. There's no problem with it. I don't see an issue with this coming out at all. I used to sit on this channel and rant and go, this is what I would remove for the magic community. Like I said, 2025, I'm namaste as fuck. People can say what they want. I am super chilled. And I don't care what people do or don't do. One man's trash is another man's treasure. And am I going to do it? No. Are a lot of people going to do it? No. But will somebody do it? Absolutely. And I'm sure they'll have a great time with it. But anyway, that's the Murphy's Magic Sponge Ball debate. Let's move on with the next piece of news. Okay, the next piece of news following on the ever-continuing saga, Greg Rostami's Inject 2 is down again. That's right, Inject 2 has gone down. So for those of you that don't know, it went down a few weeks ago, I think over the Christmas period, and Greg and his team worked tirelessly behind the scenes to bring it back up again. And it was back, and all the functionality was back, and now it's back down again. So now it's back down again, and as of time of recording, I'm recording this on the Monday, as of time of recording, it's still down for I don't know how long, for an undetermined length of time. Now, this is a problem, because obviously you've got Inject users that rely on this in their act that are not able to do it. As I reported on the news a few weeks ago, the problem with Inject being down is a lot of apps work with Inject. Inject works with a lot of apps to supply the information that the apps need to do what they do. So the knock-on effect of Inject being down is quite severe. Now, there's a few people in the industry, quite a few people actually, that are annoyed. And the reason that they're annoyed is not that Inject 2 is down again. I'm sure that we all know that Greg is working tirelessly behind the scenes to try and fix this. I can only imagine how much stress he's going through and how hard he's trying to fix it. But it's the statement that he made that some people are annoyed about when Inject 2 went down again. Because he made a statement saying Inject 2 is down again. And this time we had no, part of the statement says, and this time we had no notice at all, it just went down. Implying that the first time that it went down, that Greg and his team did have notice. And a few people are very annoyed that Greg had noticed the first time down, but didn't tell anyone about it, and only told people that Inject was down when people were logging in and realizing that they couldn't access it. And it's kind of like, as somebody who's bought out a tool that a lot of people use, if you know that there's a potential that it might not work, it's something that you really should be telling your customer base, rather than just like leaving it until they find out themselves. Now, that is what a lot of people are saying. The other thing that people are saying, and I've seen a couple of debates going on about this, is that one of the ways that Inject is marketed is as a physical product. Even though it's not a physical product, you can go into a magic shop and buy Inject and have it posted out to you, and there's a card that you can use to redeem it to get the app. So the problem is, with Inject 2 now not working, Inject 2 is actually in dealers' shops. You can actually, it's in Murphy's, it's in dealers' shops, it's active on websites all over the world. Inject 2 is available. And if people buy Inject 2 from a dealer, they will be given a card that's probably in stock somewhere. Either they've ordered it from Murphy's or it's in that magic shop. They'll be ordering that card, and then when they go to redeem it, it's not going to be redeemable. And people are saying, well, hang on a minute, with it being down and now it's back and now it's down again, should all of these physical products be pulled? Should it be taken off magic dealers' websites? And that's a debate that's also raging. Now, hopefully Greg can sort this out, because it is a very useful tool. I've said in the past, I don't use Inject, so it's not really a big deal for me, but I know a lot of people that do use it, and it is a big deal for them. I'm sure Greg is trying everything, and he has got a plan apparently, so that if Google don't play ball anymore, he can do something else with it. I'm not too sure what it is. I'm not a tech guy when it comes to this sort of thing, but as of time of filming, Inject 2 is back down. It's been back down for a little while, and we don't know when it's coming back up. Talking about platforms going down and then coming back up and going down and coming back up again, I think we should talk about TikTok. So TikTok went down. I don't want to get into the whole political ramifications, but basically the government in America banned TikTok. So TikTok got taken down. Basically, the government were forcing TikTok to sell to a US company because they didn't want China to collect data from US citizens. They didn't sell, so it got taken down. However, literally this morning, just before I was starting filming, it's back up again. Now, I don't know how long it was down for. It was down for a few days. And I know that TikTok creators within the magic community were absolutely freaking out. And I can understand why. There's a lot of magicians that have built up a social media presence on TikTok, and there are other social media channels, but TikTok is easier to build up a presence on than almost any other social media platform. I went on TikTok for a while, and I built myself up 70,000 subscribers or followers in a very short period of time. I don't really do TikTok anymore, but I did for a while, and that was a relatively easy thing to do. So a lot of big names in the magic community and the social media space, people like James Samuels, people like Dan Rhodes, all of these people, they built a lot of their social media presence in TikTok. Now, obviously, they're also on Instagram, they're also on YouTube, but TikTok was a big platform for them, and a lot of up-and-coming social media content creators build content on TikTok as well. And it was kind of a bit of a wake-up call that you can literally just have the entire platform pulled out from under your feet, and all of the work that you've done in building up your social media, your followers, your revenue from TikTok, whatever that may be, your clout, your social proof, all of that has literally gone overnight because the platform's been taken down. Now, whether it gets taken down or not, I don't know. I believe that the reason it's back up is because of something to do with the incoming change of government over in America, and because of that, it's back up. Whether it stays back up, I'm not too sure. Whether it goes down again, I'm not too sure. Obviously, there's other social media platforms that you can post on, but it's kind of a bit of a wake-up call that you can literally just have this taken away from you overnight. And this kind of backs up what I say. I've had questions on this channel all the time, and the question is, hey, I want to get gigs. And I've had many people say, I don't want to set up my own website. I'm going to get all of my work from Facebook. And I've spoken to many, many magicians and kids entertainers that get all of their work from Facebook. They put all of their time and effort into their Facebook page and building up revenue from Facebook and building up a fan base on Facebook. And they do really well from it. Fair play. And they go, we don't need a website because we've got Facebook. And I've always said, having a website is your own, you own that website. Yeah, you've got to pay the domain fees and so on and so forth, but you own that website. Nobody can take that off you. But you can have Facebook taken off you overnight. You can have Instagram taken off you overnight. You look at MySpace. MySpace was huge years and years and years ago, but now nobody really uses it. You know, it's the same with many, many platforms. I remember going all in on Periscope years ago. And now Periscope, not even a thing, not even a thing. So I believe if we learn anything from this, it's important if you are somebody who wants to do gigs and wants to get gigs, that you really need to have your own website because it's your own space. People can't take it off you. I don't think you should rely just on social media. But anyway, by the by, TikTok is back up. How much longer, I don't know, but there you go. Okay, so obviously we know the Blackpool Magic Convention's coming up just around the corner. Everybody is super excited, as you would expect. And I'll be talking more about Blackpool in the coming weeks and months. However, it's worth talking about Showzam. Now, I mentioned Showzam on a Magic News about 3 weeks ago, but more information has become available. Basically, the Blackpool Magic Convention is on the 14th, 15th, 16th. The following week is half term. So most of the kids around the UK are off school. And so Blackpool Council, Lancashire Council, whatever, they're running a series of events over the course of the week called Showzam. And there's lots of stuff that's going on. Andrew Basso is going to be live in Blackpool doing an escape. Killian O'Connor is going to be debuting a brand new illusion, apparently. And he's going to be doing that under the expert watchful eye of Russ Stevens. And he's going to be doing that, I believe, one day over the half term. My son Ryland is going to be doing workshops, free workshops for kids through the Blackpool Council at the House of Secrets. So during the day, he's going to have workshops on every single day. He's going to be working with the House of Secrets to do workshops for kids, teaching them how to do magic and teaching them how to do simple magic tricks. And then he's going to be doing shows most evenings at the House of Secrets. And again, that's all free. A lot of the stuff that's going on is free to attend. There's a lot of other stuff going on as well. So anybody that's got kids and wants to do something in and around Blackpool, that's the place to be. There's a lot of free events. Showzam is looking to be a big thing. So yeah, there you go. If you love magic and you want to stick around in Blackpool after the convention, there's a lot going on all over Blackpool. There's going to be lots of performances constantly. That's Showzam. You can check it out by going onto the Blackpool Council website, and there's information on all the different things that happen. Talking about Ryland, my son, Ry is going to be on Blue Peter very, very soon, possibly maybe this Friday. And he's going to be doing an abridged version of his Harry Potter act. So if you've never seen the Harry Potter act before and you want to see Ry perform part of the Harry Potter act and you're in the UK, go check out Blue Peter. It might even be on this Friday. You'll also see him doing some close-up magic, and you'll be seeing him doing a bunch of other magic as well. So if you like Blue Peter, or your kids like Blue Peter, and you want to watch Blue Peter, I think it might be this Friday. But Ry's coming on, he's doing his Harry Potter act, he's sitting down with Joel M, and he's going to be having a chat all about magic and his journey into magic. So look out for that. That's going to be super exciting. I'm very, very proud of him, and I can't wait to see it. So let's talk about another controversial topic in the magic community, and this is one that is raging all over the internet. It's raging all over the Magic Cafe, and that is Illusionist. Now, I said that last year I thought that Illusionist were doing a lot better last year in many, many different ways, and I really believe that they are. Some of their releases they had last year were really, really good. Well, Illusionist have just kicked up a huge, massive fuss with the announcement of the How to Read Minds Kids Edition, which is coming out through Illusionist. So what is the How to Read Minds Kids Edition? Well, if you don't know, Illusionists have brought out many, many different sort of how to read minds, how to control minds, how to do magic. They've brought out these big Kickstarter magic kits and mind reading kits, but they've been designed really for adults. They've been designed mainly for lay people that want to get into magic, and that's kind of where the focus has been. Well, they've obviously spotted a gap in the market because now they're bringing out the How to Read Minds Kids Edition. And there are a ton of routines in there. There's a book test. I mean, I've only seen the trailer, so I can only go off the trailer and off the ad copy. I haven't actually seen the kit myself. But there is on there some sort of book test. Because you see a performance of somebody, multiple performances in the trailer of somebody opening up a book, looking at a word and being told what the word is. As well as book tests, you're going to see that you get a bunch of mind reading different things. It looks like there's one ahead principles in there. It looks like there's like impression pads and notepads type thing. They've built all of the props to look like the sort of thing that a kid would carry around with them. So the book test is built into the Jungle Book. There's like some sort of impression pad that's built into a notepad. You've got a clear force bag that's built into a pencil case, so it looks like a see-through pencil case, but it's actually a clear force bag. There are what else? There's a ton of stuff. There's a deck of marked cards in there as well. So you've got physical props, and then you've got all these different routines that are being taught. Now, there's two issues and then a side issue that I want to talk about. Two issues that people have, or what the main issue that people have. And again, this is splitting the magic community pretty much 50-50. A lot of people are saying that this is bordering on exposure. This is ridiculous that you're teaching powerful mentalism principles to kids, and Illusionist are marketing it as 7+. The trailer shows kids performing. It's all very kid-centric. It's kids performing to kids. But also a big part of the trailer is kids fooling adults with the magic that's in this kit. And it's kind of like, hey, this isn't your typical magic kit. This is the magic kit that you buy if you really want to blow people away, that sort of thing, right? And a lot of people are saying this is bordering on exposure. Don Wand went onto the Magic Cafe and said, hey, we need to rally up against this. This is absolutely ridiculous. They're giving children abilities or access to skills and principles that professional mentalists use is ridiculous, and it's trivializing magic and it's trivializing mentalism. Then the other group of people are saying, hey, and they're saying like kids can't keep a secret, so they won't, they'll explain how the trick works to all of their friends, and then the next time you try and do a book test, they'll think they know how it works, that sort of thing. Then the other group of people are saying, well, hang on a minute, no. This is probably not really a problem. Why can't kids learn how to do really impressive magic? Those are the two kind of camps. Me personally, I don't really see too much of an issue with this, really, at all. Now, that might be because I'm biased, because I have a kid who's 12 that at the age of 2 or 3 started learning quite impressive techniques and was learning mentalism techniques by the age of 4, 5, 6. So, maybe it's because I've got Ryland, who has been down the route of learning. And I've had this with Ryland as well. I remember when Ry was like 4, 5 years old, way before he got on Britain's Got Talent, and he was doing quick solves with the Rubik's Cube. And I remember getting I wasn't in the magic community at the time, but I remember getting lambasted by the magic community because I was teaching my child magic that he shouldn't have access to. And it wasn't fair to the rest of the magic community that he was learning magic that really was the sort of thing that professional magicians were using. I did a video recently of Thea, my daughter, who's now getting into magic, doing a sponge ball routine, and I had somebody message me going, how dare you teach a child how to do a sponge ball routine? That's how I make my living. So I've experienced the hate of kids being taught how to do magic. I think that, look, here's the thing, right? Two things that's worth talking about with this. The first is, are kids going to pick up this magic set and tell other kids how it works? Yeah, absolutely. That's going to happen. However, there's going to be a lot of kids that buy this, and it's going to be like a real gateway to getting into magic. We could be, through the use of this, we could be seeing the next Darren Brown. We could be seeing the next Shin Lim. You can't moan every single way. People moan that there's YouTube videos out there and, we shouldn't put our secrets online. We should never put our secrets online. And I've argued and I've said, hey, there's a lot of kids that are into magic that are really good. They got into magic because of YouTube. Look at Alon. Not that it's a kid, but look at Alon from the Alon Magic Society. He got into magic with YouTube. And people are like, yeah, but no, that should never happen. We should never give free access to all of our secrets. But now, here's a paywall. We're taking these secrets and we're charging $50 for them. So it's not free, and yet still people aren't happy. And you've got a big percentage of the community moaning because we shouldn't be allowing children to have access to those secrets. My attitude is, if their parents want to pay for them and they want to learn them, then that's fine. Now, here's what's going to happen. Some kids are going to be bought this magic set and they're not going to do anything with it. They're going to watch it, they're going to look at it, they're going to read through it, they might try it a few times, and they'll do what a lot of other things happen with magic sets. It'll just be put into their bottom drawer. The spark won't light. They won't get excited about magic. And that's fine, and that's not a problem, and that could happen. But, you know, it's going to definitely inspire some kids to go on and learn more and learn more. And I don't see a problem with that. And, you know, I've heard lots of people debating and saying, well, you know, this is not good. And I genuinely don't see a problem with it, because, like, here's the thing. If we have an issue, what is it okay to teach kids? What is it okay to teach kids? So it's not okay to teach kids how to do a clear force bag, for example. It's not okay to teach kids a book test. Because, and the arguments I've heard people say is because they're used professionally. So because they're used professionally, we shouldn't be teaching children how to do that sort of thing. Okay. What about Marvin's Magic? No one ever has a problem with Marvin's Magic. And to be clear, if Marvin Berghaus is watching this, I don't have a problem with Marvin's Magic. Ryland is a very proud ambassador of Marvin's Magic, and I still think it's the best way for kids to get into magic, period. But Marvin sells invisible decks. I use the invisible deck in my professional work. A lot of people do. Marvin sells Svengali decks. I use Svengali decks in my professional work. I know a lot of people do. Marvin sells sponge balls. I use sponge balls in my professional work. So do a lot of other people. Marvin sells delights, light up thumb tips. Ryland headlined gala shows at magic conventions, and part of his act involves using light up thumb tips. I use light up thumb tips in my kids show. A lot of professionals use light up thumb tips. Marvin sells invisible thread systems that work like the old hummingbird card that flies around your body. Nick Lecapo from Penguin Magic opens his show by using that exact same prop. His corporate show, he uses that. Marvin sells linking rings. I use linking rings in my act. If it's not okay for somebody to be taught, for a kid to be taught a book test, why is it okay for a kid to walk? Why has nobody ever said in the past, oh, I'm not happy that a kid walks into Hamleys and buys an invisible deck when every other magician around the world is doing it? It's not a problem. It's not a problem. If that kid learns how to do the book test and then forgets magic and doesn't bother, and then goes to a show the next week and sees the book test, a good mentalist will still fool the absolute ever-loving crap out of them. It's totally not an issue. And I think that magicians are doing what magicians do best. They're getting their panties in a bunch over something that really isn't that important. It's the exposure argument times 10. Now, I did say there was a side issue. And I have no, I'm going to reserve judgment until I get one of these sets. I am getting one of these sets because I want one for Thea. Thea is getting into magic right now. I think that giving her a Jungle Book, all of those props that are in that set, I think Thea would absolutely love. So I'm getting one. I'm getting one for T. I will say that there is a trick in this set that involves you predicting how an emoji that the spectator thinks of. And they describe it as it's a tearable card with different emojis on. They tear the cards, they shake them, they eliminate the ones that are face down, and they keep going until one's left, and you've predicted the emoji. Now, that sounds very similar to Jeff Prace's random card generator that I said was one of the best tricks of 2024, but with emojis instead of playing cards. If that's the case, I'd like to know if Jeff has given permission to Illusionist to include this principle in their magic set. If he has, great. If it's not similar and it just sounds similar, great. But if it is similar, and he's taken, and Illusionist have taken one of the best tricks that have come out in 2024, a totally, new take on an old principle that I carry around with me all of the time, and they've just put it in the set without even getting permission from Jeff Price. That, for me, is the bigger issue. Now, I don't want to cause a fuss here because I don't know if it's credited. I don't know whether Jeff has been contacted. I don't know if it's similar or not. But from the trailer, it looks similar, and Jeff's name is nowhere on the ad copy. So I don't know. But for me, that is the bigger concern about this whole thing. Not about teaching kids mentalism. I don't think that's a problem at all. My biggest issue is the generator of the emoji symbols. I would like to know more about that, and I'm going to reserve any comment on this channel until I know more, because this is a new Craig. I'm not going to blow up over no reason. But there you go. That's the Illusionist debate. What's your thoughts? Let me know down below. Okay, so let's finish off by talking about some tricks that have come out recently. I haven't seen these. I can't review them just yet, but let's talk about a couple of different things. You've got The End by Juan Pablo. Now, Juan Pablo brought out a few years ago many different versions of a cloth with a picture on changing to another picture. He had a Rubik's Cube mixed up, being solved. He had a baby gag, whole bunch of different ones. He's just brought out The End, which it looks like the similar thing to what he's brought out before. It's a cloth, and he holds it up and it says The End, and he shakes it and it says thank you, which is quite a nice idea. I've played around with those cloths before. Ryland actually has the Rubik's Cube one, and it's very, very cool. So there you go. That's from Juan Pablo. Also, Pete Turner and Pig Cake have brought out the Open Prediction Project. Haven't seen it. I am planning on looking at it. It looks absolutely amazing. I love the Open Prediction plot. Murph is being very, very generous with the content they're putting out there about it. So you can see a lot of the trailers and a lot of performances. It looks great, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can't comment. But that's just recently come out. Patrick Kern has brought out 2 new wallets. Again, I haven't seen the wallets, but there's a lot of people hyped up. Patrick has got some amazing stuff out through the years, and this looks to be another brilliant thing. Hollow by Bond Lee looks like really fun visual magic. So what is Hollow? Well, he holds a playing card, and as a prediction, he puts a playing card down. He picks a card. He forces a card. Let's say it's 7 of Hearts. He picks up the card that's on the table, and just by giving it a shake or a rub, basically a cutout appears in the card of the card that they've picked, 7 of Hearts. So it's like you've cut out a 7 and a heart, and then you shake it and it goes back to a normal card. It looks very, very good. It's available in red and blue. Looks very social media magic, but maybe it could be done in the real world. I don't know. Haven't seen it, but the visual is amazing. And then finally, another one by Bond Lee. They've brought out Shine 3. Now, Shine 3 is a colour-changing light bulb. So if you do a colour-changing light act, maybe you do light manipulation or something like that, Shine 3 is a way of actually having a light bulb change colour over and over and over again, which looks great. Finally, and I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this because I'm going to be spending more time in the future talking about this, but we have Matte Plus, which is currently on Kickstarter by Magic Dream, and it is a mentalism and manipulation utility device that if you do any light manipulation, this will absolutely blow your socks off. I guarantee it. This looks phenomenal. I'm not going to say any more about this. I'm not going to say any more because we've got a video coming up this week, hopefully, about it. I've been speaking to Johan Chadiri from Magic Dream, and it's on Kickstarter at the moment. It got funded in like 2 hours. But this could be the next generation of light manipulation. But the applications as a mentalist as well is phenomenal. I'm not going to say any more about that. Just watch this space. So there you go, guys. That's magic news for this week. Do me a favour. Any magic news you want me to talk about, leave it in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about the debates. What do you think about the Sponge Ding Dong debate, the Illusionist debate, the Inject debate? Let me know in the comments down below. A lot of magic news happening this week. I'll be back again tomorrow with a Craig and Ryland review show. But thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. My name's Craig from Magic TV.